Welcome back, learner, to our second session of online class, which is of mathematics. Our own expert teacher, Madam Neha Agrawal, is with us. Over to you, ma'am, for the class.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, students. I hope that all of you are safe and keeping well. These are testing times, and NIOS has taken up a great initiative, and I hope that all of you are making adequate use of this initiative. Yes. So, children, this is Neha Agarwal from Army Public School, Noida, and today I'm going to take you through the secondary mathematics topic, which is perimeter and area of plane figures. Okay. Now, perimeter and area of plane figures is a topic which is of utmost importance to us in real life. Okay. You might have gone across, you might have come across situations wherein you have to fence a garden, right? Or you have to paint a wall. So for all these cases, you should know the area, okay, or the perimeter of the required figure, right? So today's topic, children, is going to be very important. As in when I show you the slides, please follow them. If you have any doubts, note down, and you can, ask your doubts through the number that will be displayed on the screen. I hope that we all have a great session, right? So let's start. I'll just share my presentation with you all. So children, I hope that the screen is visible to you, okay? As I was sharing, a very warm welcome to you. And the topic for the day is perimeter and area of plane figures. Now, what all are we going to cover in this topic, okay? And why is this topic important to us in real life? So this, topic, it helps us to, find out the fencing, okay, of an area. Now, whenever we do fencing, fencing implies to calculate the perimeter. जब हम boundary पर आपने देखा है घर के चारों तरफ एक boundary बनी होती है ना? So that is basically called fencing, right? So for that we require perimeter. Then for planning the construction of a house, how much area is involved, right? For grazing a field, okay? For painting a wall. So when we paint a wall, okay, do we cover the area? Yes. For putting a lace, okay, for putting a lace around. So that also putting a lace around a handkerchief, okay, or suppose we need to decorate a page of our notebook. So all of these, in situations, they deal with the perimeter and the area of plane figures. Now, in this topic, children, the learning objectives are we going to understand the concept of area and perimeter of plane figures. Plane figures meaning 2D figures, two-dimensional figures which can be made on a sheet of paper. Fine. Applying the formulas, we learn how to apply the formulas of area and perimeter in adequate questions. Then we will understand the Heron's formula. It's a new formula to calculate the area of a triangle. Okay. Then we will move on and calculate the perimeter and area of a sector. Lastly, we will be dealing with areas of combination of figures. Okay. Now, moving on, let us introduce ourselves as to what is perimeter. Perimeter, children, is nothing else but the boundary, okay, of any figure or the distance around the boundary. So suppose we go for jogging in the morning, okay. So do we jog along the boundary of a park? Yes. So basically in this situation, we are covering the perimeter of that park. Fine. Then area. Area is the region covered by it. So suppose I need to graze a field or I need to do irrigation in a field. So obviously you will not do irrigation just along the boundary. You will be doing irrigation in the area, right? So area is the region inside that boundary. Fine. If you look into the figure, we have a triangle, okay, and you can see the boundary of the triangle is basically denoting the perimeter. Whereas in the second figure, can you see the yellow region, the shaded area? This shaded area basically refers to the area of any figure. I hope the concept of perimeter and area is clear to you. Now, moving on, we are going to be discussing the formulas of various, plane figures, starting with the first plane figure, which is a rectangle. Now, a rectangle has a length and a breadth, right? The area of a rectangle is given by the formula length into breadth. The area of the rectangle is given by the formula length into breadth, right? Now, the perimeter is given by the formula 2 multiplied with length plus breadth. Okay? The perimeter is given by the formula 2 multiplied with length plus breadth. I hope you understand why did we get this formula. Because in a rectangle, we have two lengths, okay, the opposite sides, and we have two breadths, again the two opposite sides. If you add all these sides, we are going to end up with 2 into length plus breadth. Okay, moving on, the area and perimeter of a square. Now children, you all know how is a rectangle different from a square. A square has all four sides of the same length, right? So as you can see, I have denoted one side of the square as A. So all four sides will be A units. Fine. The area of a square is given by the formula side into side. If one side is denoted by A, then A into A will give us A square. Fine. Moving on, the perimeter of a square is given by the formula 4 into side. Since all sides are equal, yes, and we know that perimeter of any figure in general is sum of all sides. Since all four sides are equal, therefore, the perimeter of a square is 4 into side. Okay, moving on. Perimeter of a triangle. As the name suggests, tri. Tri means 3. Okay. So a triangle is a figure with 3 sides, supposedly A, B and C. Now, the perimeter, the area of a triangle is given by the formula half into base into height. Okay. Whereas the perimeter is given by the formula sum of all sides. सम ऑफ ऑल साइड्स, अगर आपने साइड्स ए बी और सी लिए हैं तो आपका पेरीमीटर क्या हो जाएगा ए प्लस बी प्लस सी. आई होप this is clear to you. Okay, children, keep this formula in mind because today we are also going to cover another formula of calculating area of a triangle, which is the Heron's formula, right? So then when I'll tell you the difference between the usage of these two formulas. Moving on, now we need to understand the area and perimeter of an isosceles triangle. What do we mean by an isosceles triangle? An isosceles triangle is a triangle in which two sides are equal. So as you can see in the figure, you can see a triangle in which both the sides are of the same length. Okay. So area of such a triangle is given by the formula B upon 4. If you can see, B is the non-equal side. Look into the figure. B is the non-equal side. So B upon 4 multiplied with square root of 4a square minus b square, where a is the value of the equal sides of the isosceles triangle. Sorry. Moving on. Perimeter of a triangle is again given by the same formula, sum of all sides. So if two sides are equal, then obviously we can write it as 2a plus b. Fine. Now, coming to area and perimeter of an equilateral triangle. We all know what an equilateral triangle is. From this word equilateral, can I find a word equal? Can I relate to this word equal? So an equilateral triangle is a triangle in which all three sides are of equal length. Okay. The area of such a triangle is given by the formula root 3 by 4 into side square. Okay. Root 3 by 4 into side square. If the side you have taken as a unit, then it will become root 3 by 4 into a square. Okay. The perimeter of an equilateral triangle is sum of all sides again. And since all the three sides are equal, therefore the perimeter will be given by the formula 3a. Okay. Moving on. Now, we need to deal with area and perimeter of a right angle triangle. Children, I am covering all these triangles so that when we move on to questions, you should know the difference, okay, between various triangles and their heights, okay. So, I have a right angle triangle. You know a right triangle has a 90-degree angle as one of its angles. B is the base, and you can see that the height in this triangle is one of its sides itself. Okay. So the area of a right triangle is given by the formula half into base into height. And again, the perimeter is given by the formula sum of all sides. Moving on. Area and perimeter of an obtuse triangle. Now, what is the difference between a normal triangle and an obtuse angled triangle? We all have studied that an obtuse angled triangle has one angle which is greater than 90 degrees, right? So if you consider the base as B, then we always draw the height from the opposite vertex, right? If you can see my cursor, so from here when I draw the height, it will lie outside the triangle, okay? So the area or the perimeter of an obtuse triangle, obviously whenever we calculate the area or perimeter, remember that the height will lie outside, okay? And the area will be given by the same formula, half into base into height. Same goes for the perimeter, sum of all sides. Moving on. Area and perimeter of a parallelogram. Now, as the name suggests, parallelogram. There is a hidden word here, parallel. You all know what are parallel lines? Two lines which are which are separated at the same distance, like a railway track. Or if you see the two ends of your scale, the two lines of your scale, obviously you know they will never meet. So a parallelogram, as you can see on the screen, is a figure in which two pairs of opposite sides are parallel and equal. Okay. A parallelogram, the area of a parallelogram is given by the formula base multiplied by the height. Okay. If you consider the base as B, the height is always drawn from the opposite vertex. Okay. Similarly, the perimeter is given by the formula sum of all sides. Since both the sides are equal, opposite sides are equal. Okay. So therefore, the perimeter will be given by the formula 2 into length plus breadth. Okay. Moving on. Area and perimeter of a trapezium. Now children, when we come to a trapezium is a figure which has one pair of opposite sides to be parallel. Can you see the pair of opposite sides which are parallel in the figure? So let these be denoted by A and B. Then the height is denoted by H, and the formula for calculating the area is given by half into sum of parallel sides into its height. Okay. So half into the parallel sides are denoted by A plus B. So that's why we've written half into A plus B into H. I hope I'm making sense. Okay. Moving forward. The perimeter of a triangle is given, the perimeter of a trapezium is given by sum of all sides. Next, area and perimeter of a rhombus. A rhombus is a quadrilateral in which all four sides are equal. Okay, if you look into a rhombus, we have two diagonals. They have denoted the two diagonals as D1 and D2. Okay. The formula, and we also know that these diagonals, they intersect each other, they bisect each other at 90 degrees. Okay. The area of a rhombus is given by the formula half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. Okay. Perimeter is given by the formula 4 multiplied by the side. Next, area and perimeter of a circle. Now, as you can see on the screen, this is called, this point, fixed point is called the center, and the fixed distance is called the radius of the circle. The area of a circle is given by the formula pi r square. Pi r square, where the value of pi is 22 by 7 approximately, or it is also used as 3.14 in many cases. Fine. Moving on. The perimeter of a circle is also called its circumference. Okay. And the circumference of a circle is given by the formula 2 pi r, where again the value of pi remains as 22 by 7 or 3.14. Okay. Units of measurement. Now, students, once we have discussed all the formulas of area and perimeter, we know that any area or any perimeter is incomplete without writing a suitable unit, right? So let us discuss the units of perimeter. Perimeter, as you all know, is basically a length, the boundary of a figure. So the units are kilometers, meters, centimeters, or millimeters. Let's understand the conversions. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. Children, remember, when we go from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you're going to multiply. Okay. When we go from a smaller unit, let us say millimeters into centimeters, then you will divide. Okay. Moving on to the units of area. The units of area are given as square units. So it can be kilometer square, meter square, centimeter square, or millimeter square. 1 kilometer square will be 10 lakh meter square. 1 meter square will be 10,000 centimeter square. 1 centimeter square will be 100 millimeter square. Basically, it's very easy to calculate. Centimeter square means आपने सेंटीमीटर को 2 बार मल्टीप्लाई किया है. अगर आपने सेंटीमीटर को 2 बार मल्टीप्लाई किया है, so look into the left hand side. 10 into 10, that will give you 100 millimeter square, right? There's one more unit of calculating the area, hectare. 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meter square. So for big fields, okay, to calculate the area of big fields, we use this unit of hectares. Is that understood? Can I move on? Okay. Now moving on, let us try some questions based on the formulas. Find the area of a square park. Yes.
Ma'am, one question is there. Means question is coming. She is Shivali. She is asking, find the perimeter of a triangle whose sides are 12 centimeter, 15 centimeter, and 21 centimeter.
Okay, sir. So there is a student, Shivali. She asks that she has to find the area of a triangle, okay, or perimeter of a triangle given the three sides as 21 centimeters, 15 centimeters, and 16 centimeters. Now, children, whenever we have to find out, the area or perimeter of a triangle, whenever we have to find out, let us say the perimeter of a triangle, you know that it is just equal to the sum of all sides. So suppose, as her doubt says, one of the sides is, let us say, A, okay? The other side, or let us say, 15 centimeters. The other side is 16 centimeters. and the third side is, let us say, 21 centimeters. Okay. So the perimeter of this kind of a triangle will be given by adding the three sides. 15 plus 16 plus 21. Okay. I hope this clears your doubt. The simple formula is sum of all sides. Okay.
And another is there, ma'am. It is for
Yes.
the hello.
Yes, yes, sir, you're
Yeah,
audible.
yeah, it is for the regular pentagon whose side is 13 centimeter. Then what has to be done? Find the
Okay.
perimeter.
Regular pentagon. Now,
Yeah.
children, regular pentagon is a figure which has, 5 sides and all the sides are equal. Regular figures or regular polygons are figures in which all sides and all angles are equal. So, a regular pentagon has 5 sides. So, the perimeter of a regular pentagon will be given as 5 into the length of its side. Okay, 5 into the length of its side, whatever the side is. If the side is 10 centimeters, then the perimeter of a regular pentagon will be 5 into 10, that is 50 centimeters. If the side is 21 centimeters, then it will be given as 5 into 21, that is 105 centimeters, and so on. Okay, shall I move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so children, just moving on to the next slide. So we have already discussed the formulas, right? Let us move on to this question which says, find the area of a square park whose perimeter is 320 meters. Now, when we say the perimeter of a square park is 320 meters, we already know the formula for the perimeter, right? That is 4 into side. So the side can be calculated by dividing the perimeter with 4. Okay. Find out the side of the square park, and then once you find out the side, I'm sure you will be able to find out the area. Okay. The area of a square park will be given by the formula side square or side into side, which in turn gives us the answer as 6,400 meter square. Is that understood? Okay. Now, moving on, we need to find out the area of a rhombus where the diagonals are of lengths 10 centimeters and 8.2 centimeters. All of us know the formula for area of a rhombus. Area of a rhombus is given by the formula half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. Now we have been given the lengths of the diagonals as 10 centimeters and 8.2 centimeters. So the area of a rhombus will be half into diagonal 1, which is 10, into diagonal 2, which is 8.2. So that will be 41 centimeter square. Children, one very important point here is, please do not forget to write down the unit, because in mathematics, step marking is done. Okay. So if you miss out writing the formula, or if you miss writing the units, and if it is a 2-marker question, you may just end up getting 1 mark, right? So remember to give a complete answer. I hope you have understood. You can also highlight your final answer. Moving on.
Excuse me,
The
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, one learner is asking, as you have said, ki there is a step marking.
Yes.
So, is it necessary to give the definition of that perimeter also, as well as the formula also?
No, it's not necessary to give the definition, but it will be good if if the child gives the formula, because if his calculation is wrong, he will at least get some marks for writing the formula. Okay. So every child should write down the formula in chapters, which deal with formula, especially this chapter.
One more question is coming, ma'am. He is
Yes.
Sachin. From UP. He is asking, can you prove the area of equilateral triangle?
Yes, we will be proving the area of an equilateral triangle as root 3 by 4a square when we move on to Heron's formula. Okay. So till
So,
then, yeah, it will be coming. We will be doing that.
fine learner, so your question will be taken in a short while.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. The other question says the area of a rhombus is given to us as 240 centimeters square. One of the diagonals is given to us. Okay. And we need to find out the length of the other diagonal. Children, just apply the formula. Okay. Substitute the values which have been given to you. We know the area of a rhombus is half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2, and it is already given to us as 240. Now, we have to find out the length of diagonal 2. So, can you simply cross multiply and find out the length of the diagonal? You will get the answer as 30 centimeters. Again, do not forget to write down the units. Okay, moving on. Now we need to deal with a question of trapezium. They say the area of a trapezium shaped field is given to us as 480 meters square. The distance between the two parallel sides. Children, what do we mean by the distance between the two parallel sides? It basically means the height. Okay. The height is given to us as 15 meters and we have been given one parallel side. Okay. We need to find out the other parallel side. Can you see the figure on the screen? We have a trapezium. We have been given one parallel side as 20. The height has been given to us as 15. And we have to find out the length of the other parallel side. Now, as you all know, the area of a trapezium is given by the formula half into the height into the sum of parallel sides. Yes, just substitute the value. So instead of area of trapezium, I have put 480. Instead of height, I have substituted 15. Instead of one parallel side, I've put 20. And we need to calculate the other parallel side. So once you calculate, you will get the other parallel side as 44 meters. I hope you've understood how do we calculate it. We've just cross multiplied. This is 15 by 2 on the right hand side. When you take it to the left hand side, the denominator goes into the numerator and the numerator comes into the denominator. So it becomes 2 upon 15. Simplify this. So you will get 64 is equal to 20 plus b. Then it's an equation. Okay, you can solve it like an equation. So you will get the value of the other parallel side as 44 meters. Fine. Always write down the final answer. Now, moving on, we have another question which deals with a parallelogram. We all know the area of a parallelogram, right? It is base multiplied by the height. Now this question says a flooring tile. So now you can see the real life use of these type of questions or these type of, chapters of maths. A flooring tile is in the shape of a parallelogram whose base is 24 centimeters and the height is 10 centimeters. How many such tiles are required to cover a floor of area 1080 meters square? Now, children, we know the area of one tile. We know we've been given the base, we've been given the height. Area of a parallelogram is base into height. So that will be 24 into 10, that is 240 centimeter square. Okay, they are asking how many such tiles are required to cover a floor of area 1080 meters square. First of all, look into the unit. The area is given as in terms of meter square, whereas the height and base are given in terms of centimeters. So first convert the area also in terms of centimeters. Okay. Once you have converted the area of the floor in terms of centimeters square, now to find the number of tiles, you can divide the total area of the floor divided by the area of one tile. The total area of the floor divided by the area of one tile will give you the number of tiles. Okay. So we get the answer as 45,000. Okay. Now, moving on, area of rectangular paths. Area of rectangular paths. Now, आपने अपने घर के आसपास चौराहा देखा होगा, है ना? So, all these questions, suppose if you can see this question on the screen, can you see the yellow shaded region? Okay, so if you see a little square, IKLJ, in real life, do we call it a charaha? 4 roads crossing each other? Yes. So these questions are also very helpful to calculate such, in such situations. Now, they say, through a rectangular field of length 90 meters and breadth 60 meters, 2 roads are constructed which are parallel to the sides and they cut each other at right angles. Okay, एक rectangular field है जिसकी length है 90 meters and breadth है 60 meters, and then we have 2 roads, right? They cut each other at 90-degree angle. They say if the width of the road, that means what's the width of the road? This length EF is 3 meters or AB is 3 meters. We need to find out the area covered by the roads. So basically, they are asking us to find out the area of this yellow region. Okay. And then they are asking us to calculate the cost of constructing these roads at the rate of 110 per meter square. Let's see how do we do this question. We've been given the length, breadth and the width of the road. Now children, to calculate the area of the roads, it will be area of this rectangle ABCD, DC rather, okay. Then area of this, the other rectangle EFGH. Now if you see, haven't we counted the square twice? पहले हमने ABCD rectangle लिया, then we have taken the other rectangle EFGH. So haven't we counted the middle square twice? So एक बार उसको subtract करना पड़ेगा. So that is why to calculate the area of the roads, the formula will be area of ABCD plus area of EFGH minus area of the common square region. Okay. You can see the length of the rectangle ABCD is 90 and the length of AB is 30. So 19 to 30 we get the answer as 270. Then for EFGH we know the the breadth is 60 and the width of the road is 3 meters. 60 into 3 we get the area of EFGH as 180, and the middle one is a square, isn't it? It might not appear as a square in the figure, but yes, since the width of the roads is the same, it is a square. So 3 multiplied by 3, that will give us 9. And therefore the area of the road is 441 meter square. The question is not complete yet. They also ask us to find out the cost. So the total cost of constructing the roads will be the area multiplied by the rate. The rate means cost per meter square. Cost of constructing the road per meter square was 110. Multiply it with the area. So you will get the total cost as rupees 48,510. I hope I am clear to all of you. Okay. Now, before we move on to the next topic, I think we can take a small break of 5 minutes. Till then,
okay, learners, we will take a break of 5 minutes and after that we will assemble here. In the meantime, you can post your questions.
करने राहों को लोकित करने ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बांट,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। स्वयं बने, हम
Welcome back, learners. I hope you are enjoying as you are posting lots of questions. So still you can post your question on by logging on to the sdmis.nios.ac.in, or you can send it through SMS upon the number which is appearing on your screen. Now we will resume our class. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes. So I am glad that children, you are sending questions, and that means that you are taking interest in the topic. Okay. Now we are going to be moving on to one very interesting topic, that is Heron's formula. Now children, Heron's formula is a topic to find out the area of a triangle. So one of the students, he asked, how do we find the area of an equilateral triangle, or how do we derive the formula for area of an equilateral triangle? I'm going to be explaining you with the help of this topic, how do we get the area of an equilateral triangle as √3/4a square. But before that, you can see a picture on the screen. So you can see a flyover, okay, and a road. And whenever you have these huge flyovers, you can see that there are advertisements on both sides, isn't it? So obviously we need to now calculate the area of this advertisement, and we've been given the three sides. Yes, the three sides of this triangle. So in this case, in these cases wherein we have been given the area, the sides of a triangle, we can find out the area using Heron's formula. Okay. Now, Area of a triangle usually, you know, is calculated by the formula half into base into height. We have three bases. So if we take the base as BC, you know that the height can be drawn from the opposite vertex A. Okay. Then if the base is AC, the height will be drawn from B. And if the base is AB, the height will be drawn from vertex C. Okay. So we know that to calculate the area using half base height, we should be given a height. But what in case if the height of a triangle is not given to us? Then we had this mathematician by the name of Herons. Okay. He, told us that we can find out the area of a triangle given the three sides of a triangle. Okay. If we are given the three sides of a triangle, then also we can find out its area. Okay. And we can find out the area using Heron's formula. Is that understood? So what is Heron's formula now? If we have a triangle whose sides are given by A, B and C, okay, then the area of the triangle is given by the formula square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. Fine. Where A, B and C are sides of the triangle. And now you might be wondering, what is S? S is nothing but the semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter means half of the perimeter. Okay. And you know, how do we calculate the perimeter? Perimeter is the sum of all sides. Matlab A plus B plus C hota hai na perimeter. So semi-perimeter will be A plus B plus C upon 2. Is that understood? I am repeating again. The area of a triangle using Heron's formula is given by square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C, where S is the semi-perimeter, which is half of the perimeter, and it is given by A plus B plus C, that is sum of three sides divided by 2. Okay. Let us try and understand this through some questions. Now, the first question on Heron's formula is very direct. It says find the area of a triangle whose sides are given by 40 meters, 24 meters and 32 meters respectively. So we can take the sides as A, B and C. Okay. Calculate the semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter ka formula you all know. Half of the perimeter. So A plus B plus C upon 2, which gives us the value of the semi-perimeter as 96 by 2, which is 48 meters. Okay. Then to calculate the area of the triangle, again children, I'm repeating, make a habit of writing the formulas, because even if your calculations are wrong, you do get some marks for the formulas. Okay. So area of the triangle will be given as square root of S into S minus A, S minus B and S minus C. Okay. So now we have some complicated numbers under the square root. How do we solve them? Just prime factorize. I hope you know how do we do prime factorization. Okay. Prime factorize, then bring all the 2's together, all the 3's together. Okay. Now pair them. Okay. Make groups of 2. Okay. After you've made groups of 2, out of each group, one factor will come out. Okay. Out of each group, one factor comes out, and therefore you will understand that the area of the triangle will be a product of all these, which will be 384 meter square. Since we were dealing with area, therefore the unit meter square. Okay. I hope you've understood how do we calculate the area using Heron's. Now let us move on to another question. This will answer the query of the child who asked to find out the area of the equilateral triangle. So it says a traffic signal board indicating school ahead is an equilateral triangle with side A. Okay, it's an equilateral triangle and the side of the equilateral triangle is A. Find the area using Heron's formula. Now, to find the area using Heron's formula, we have to first find out the semi-perimeter. In case of an equilateral triangle, we know that the sides are equal, right? And we've taken the side to be A units. Okay. So how do we find out? We know that the semi-perimeter will be A plus A plus A upon 2 because all the three sides are equal. That will give us 3A upon 2. Okay. Now calculate the value of S minus A. Semi-perimeter calculate किया था 3A upon 2 minus A. When you solve by taking the LCM, you will get it as A upon 2. S minus B again A upon 2. S minus C again A upon 2. Now use the formula for the area using Heron's formula. It is square root of S into S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. So square root of 3A upon 2 multiplied by A upon 2, okay, thrice. And as I told you in the previous slide, you have to make groups of 2, okay. So आपको दिख रहा है न्यूमरेटर में हमारे पास 4 A's हैं, ठीक है. तो कितने ग्रुप्स बन गए? We have 2 groups. Once you have formed pairs, one factor will come out of the square root sign. Similarly, in the denominator, we have 4 2's. So you've grouped them and therefore they will come out of the bracket and we will be left with root 3 only inside the bracket because root 3 का कोई partner या pair नहीं हो रहा form. Okay. So therefore we will get the area of the equilateral triangle as root 3 by 4A square. Where what is A? A is the side of the equilateral triangle. Is that understood? So I hope that you've understood that the area of the equilateral triangle can be derived using the Heron's formula and it is square root 3A square upon 4. Moving on to one more question of Heron's formula. Now, when we are given the sides of a triangle in terms of a certain ratio, okay, we've been given the sides as 12:17:25 and the perimeter is 540 centimeters. We need to find out the area. Just assume the sides in terms of a common ratio x. ठीक है? तो जब भी आपको ratio में given होता है sides, you have to assume them as 12x, 17x and 25x. The perimeter of a triangle is sum of all sides. Therefore, we have added the three sides. 12x plus 17x plus 25x is 540, which in turn gives us 54x as 540, and we are able to calculate the value of x. Once you have got the value of x, now the question is not yet over. हमें area find करना है, but area से पहले हमें sides find करनी है. So the sides will be 12x, that is 12 into the value of x, that is 10, 120 centimeters, then 17x, that is 170 centimeters, and 25x, that is 250 centimeters. ठीक है? Once you have got the sides, now shall we try to find out the area? So again, using Heron's formula, we'll find out the semi-perimeter. Perimeter था 540. आपको पता है semi-perimeter क्या होता है? Half of the perimeter, right? So therefore, the semi-perimeter comes out as 270 centimeters. Then calculate the value of S minus A, S minus B and S minus C. Substitute in the formula of area of a triangle using Heron's. Under root of S, S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. Again, you know how to calculate it. You know how to solve the root now. Okay, make pairs. Whichever factor comes inside a pair, you can take it out of the bracket. Okay. So the final answer will be 9,000 centimeter square. Fine. So I hope that we've understood Heron's formula. Moving on. Now, I think I should take some doubts before I take up this question. The next topic that I'll be taking is area of circular paths, and this was one of the doubts of a question, of a child also. So, have you ever seen a pipe? अगर आप एक pipe को cut करेंगे, so the portion that appears is known as cross-sectional area, right? And this cross-sectional area it's basically in the form of a ring, okay, or it's known as a circular path, right? Now, how do we find out the area of a circular path? The area of a circular path or a circular ring, see, you can see a ring is made up of two circles, an inner circle whose radius is small r and an outer circle whose radius is capital R. Okay. So the area of a ring is given by the formula area of the outer circle minus area of the inner circle. If I try to highlight it, I hope you'll understand that whose area are we finding? We are finding out this area, the shaded area that you can see. Okay. The area of the ring, जो इन दोनों circles के बीच में है. Okay. So how do we find out the area of the ring? We'll find the area of the ring by area of the outer circle minus area of the inner circle. You know, area of the circle is pi r square. So pi capital R square minus pi small r square. Okay. If you take out pi common, then it will be pi brackets r square minus r square. Similarly, children, you can also find out the perimeter of a ring. The inner radius is small r, outer radius is capital R. Then the perimeter of the ring will be perimeter of the outer circle, okay, minus inner circle. Okay. Now moving on, let us try to do one question. Radii of two circles are given to us as 19 centimeters and 9 centimeters. Find the radius of the circle which has circumference equal to the sum of the circumference of these two circles. So we have been given 3 circles in this question. Okay. 2 circles are of radii 19 centimeters and 9 centimeters. And we need to find out the radius of a circle whose circumference is equal to the sum of the circumference of these two circles. So let us take the radius of the bigger circle to be capital R. Okay. Now we know that the circumference of the bigger circle will be equal to the sum of the circumferences of the other two circles. Can I take out 2 pi common? If I take out 2 pi common, what will we be left with inside the bracket? 19 plus 9. And then as you can see on the screen, can 2 pi get cancelled? Therefore, the value of the radius will be 19 plus 9, that is 28 centimeters. So the radius of the bigger circle is 28 centimeters. I hope this is fine. Okay. Now, there is a question that was asked as a doubt. I would like to clarify that here only, since we have, understood the formula. Now, the question is, a circular flower bed is surrounded by a path 4 meters wide. So suppose I have a circle, okay, and I have another circle, right? Now, I'm sorry for drawing, this kind of a figure, but this is all I can do right now. A circular flower bed is surrounded by a path 4 meters wide. Now, path means this path they are talking about. Okay. So, this length is 4 meters. So, now children, we have to understand the area and perimeter of a sector. Okay. Now, area and perimeter of a sector, before I make you understand this, I want you to understand what do we mean by a sector of a circle. आपने कभी पिज्जा खाया है ना? So एक पिज्जा का slice, okay, the slice of a pizza is basically what we call a sector. Okay, So as as we can move ahead, a sector of a circle is a region enclosed between two radii and an arc. Okay, arc क्या होता है? It's a part of a circle. Okay, so as you can see in the figure, APB is an arc and AOBP is a minor sector. Minor means chota part is known as a minor sector, right? Then the shaded region OAPB, as I told you, is called the sector. AOB, this angle is called the central angle. Okay, and we know that obviously we have it. Figure is divided into two sectors, a minor sector and a major sector. Fine. Now, how do we calculate the perimeter of sector of a circle? So suppose I have a circle. आप सबको पता है एक सर्कल का सर्कमफ्रेंस क्या होता है? 2 pi r for 360 degrees. Now this circumference is of the entire circle, isn't it? So for 2 pi r, the length of the arc, okay, for 2 pi r, the length of the arc is, for 360 degrees, the length of the arc is 2 pi r. So for 1 degree, it will be 2 pi r divided by 360. This is simple unitary method. So if we have an angle of theta degrees at the center, then what will be the length of the arc? It will be 2 pi r upon 360 multiplied with theta. Okay. So this way, if you try and calculate the perimeter of this sector, it will be the radius OA plus OB plus length of the corresponding arc, that is APB. Okay. OA plus OB is R plus R 2R and the corresponding arc is pi r theta divided by 180. I hope this is clear. So the formula for calculating the perimeter of a sector is 2R plus pi r theta upon 180 degrees. Okay. Now moving on, how do you find the area of a sector? Area of a sector, we know area of a circle is pi r square. This area is for 360 degrees. So for 1 degree, what will be the area? Use unitary method, pi r square divided by 360. So for theta degrees, okay, for an angle of theta at the center, what will be the area? It will be theta upon 360 multiplied with pi r square. Okay. Theta upon 360 multiplied with pi r square. Now, major sector of a circle. So right now we were dealing with the minor sector AOPB. What about this major sector, the remaining part? Let me show you the major sector. So this is what I mean by the major sector. Okay. So how will I calculate the area and the perimeter of the major sector? Just take the angle as 360 minus theta. Same formulas में आपने angle क्या replace करना है? 360 minus theta. Okay, and you will be able to calculate the perimeter and area of the major sector. Fine. Okay, children. Moving on. So suppose we need to calculate the area of a sector of a circle with radius 6 centimeters. Okay, where the central angle is 60 degrees. Everybody knows the formula. Area of a sector is given by the formula theta upon 360, okay, into pi r square. Please do not forget to write the formula in the exam. Please write down the formula theta upon 360 into pi r square. So substitute the values. The value of theta is 60 upon 360 as they have stated. Pi की value आपको 22/7 use करनी है. If it is mentioned in the question to use it as 3.14, only then use it as 3.14. Then r square, that is 6 into 6, which will give you the answer as 132 upon 7 centimeter square. Is that understood? Moving on. How do we find out the perimeter of a sector? The radius is 6 and the area is, the angle is 60 degrees. The perimeter is given by the formula 2r plus pi r theta upon 180. That is 2 into the radius, which is 6, plus pi की value 22 by 7, radius 6 centimeters into theta, that is 60 upon 180. Okay. Once you calculate, you will get the value as 128 upon 7 centimeters. Fine. So we have understood how do we deal with area and perimeter of sectors of a circle. Now, the last topic, and it's a very important topic, areas of combination of figures. Okay, so you might have seen, table covers, and there are lots of designing that is being done nowadays. Okay, so mathematical figures, mathematical shapes have a, they are of utmost importance in all these designing. Now, area of combination of figures, the first question says, find the area of the shaded region in the figure if ABCD is a square of side 14 centimeters and APD and BPC are semicircles. So children, when we will be dealing with this topic of combination of figures, अभी तक हमने सारे formulas अलग-अलग solve किए हैं अलग-अलग questions में. But now we are going to be facing a mix of figures. Okay, a combination of figures in the same question. So you have to very carefully visualize and identify which part of the question they are asking, which area are they asking you to calculate. So suppose in this question they are asking you to calculate the shaded area, the one shaded in blue. If you see carefully, the area of the square, okay, in इस area of the square में से मैं ये circle 1 और circle 2 को अगर subtract कर दूंगी, okay, from this area of the square, if I will be able to subtract the area of these two semicircles, then will I end up with the area of the shaded region? Okay, so now what you have to do is you just have to find out the area of the square. You all know area of a square is given by the formula side square or side into side, right? So that is 196 centimeters square. Then area of a semicircle will be half into pi r square. Okay. Area of two semicircles. Just imagine I am joining two semicircles. So will it not form a circle? If I join two semicircles, will it not form a circle? See? Okay. So area of two semicircles is same as area of a circle, and once you calculate, it comes out as 154 centimeters square. So to find out the area of the shaded portion, that is the one in blue, you have to subtract the area of the square and the area of the two semicircles, right? This will give you the final answer of the shaded region as 42 centimeter square. I hope this is clear to you. Moving on, another question. So we have ABCD is a square of side 14 centimeters, okay, and with centers A, B, C and D, 4 circles have been drawn. Okay, 4 circles have been drawn that touch each other externally. Okay, and we need to find out the area of this shaded region, this region. So how are we going to do this? Now, children, as you can see, again, if I divide a pizza into 4 parts, okay, this part is known as 1/4 of a circle, or it is also known as a quadrant. Okay, 1/4 of a circle is also known as a quadrant. So suppose I have a circle, okay, and if I divide a circle into 4 parts, right? So each part is known as a quadrant. And you can see that 4 quadrants, are they making a circle? So in this question also, I have labeled them as 1, 2, 3 and 4. When I will be combining 1, 2, 3 and 4, will they not make a circle? Yes. So children, now if we move on with the answer, you can see that the area of the shaded portion will be calculated by area of the square minus area of the four quadrants. Four quadrants together will indeed make a circle. Okay. So find out the area of the square first, which is side square. That is 14 into 14, 196 centimeter square. Then we know that the radius of the sector is 7 centimeters, right? So area of one sector is theta upon 360 into pi r square, or area of four sectors, same as the area of a circle, will be 154 centimeter square. So to find out the area of the shaded portion, how are we going to calculate it? Area of the square minus area of the four quadrants. Okay, minus area of the four quadrants or sectors. So we will get the answer as 42 centimeter square. Is that understood? So now I hope you are able to visualize what kind of questions you will be getting in combination of figures. Squares के साथ circles, ठीक है? And then you have to identify which area is the shaded portion and how do you go about it. One more question. It says, in the adjoining figure, a square OABC is inscribed in a quadrant. A square OABC is inscribed in a quadrant. Okay, quadrant I just now told you, it is 1/4 part of a circle. A quadrant is 1/4 part of a circle. We have been given OA as 20 centimeters. It's still here only. Okay. And we need to find out the area of the shaded portion. That means this portion we have to find out. Okay. How will we do that? Can I say it will be area of this quadrant minus area of this square? I'll repeat. Area of this quadrant minus area of this square. Right? So how are we supposed to do that now? Before finding out the area of the quadrant, I need to know the radius. How will I find out the radius of this quadrant? We know that the side of the square is 20. So this side will also be 20. Yes. And we know that it's a right angle triangle. So can we use Pythagoras theorem to find out the length of OB? Yes. So the length of OB will be calculated using Pythagoras theorem, and we get it as 20√2 centimeters. Whatever is the length of OB, the same is the length of the radius, that is OP, right? Once you have got the radius of the quadrant, now it's an absolutely easy question. Just apply the formula, area of the sector, calculate करेंगे आप. Since it was mentioned in the question to use the value of pi as 3.14, therefore you have used the value of pi as 3.14. Otherwise, use it as 22/7 only. Okay. So once you've calculated the area of the sector and area of the square, you will be able to find out the area of the shaded portion by subtracting. Okay. Area of the quadrant minus area of the square will give us the area of the shaded portion as 228 centimeter square. I hope, children, this is clear to you. Fine. Now, moving on, I am going to take this as the last question, and then whatever leftover doubts we have, we can clear those. ABC is a quadrant of a circle of radius 14 centimeters, and a semicircle is drawn with BC as a diameter. Okay, we have ABC as a quadrant, right, of a circle of radius 14, and then we have a semicircle, as you can see. We need to find out the area of the shaded region. Now, to find the area of the shaded region, children, can you see that how many figures are involved in this question? The first figure involved in this question is a triangle. Can you see this triangle ABC? In this triangle, two sides are 14. So can I find out the length of BC also? Yes. The value of BC will be found out using Pythagoras theorem, which we get it as 14 root 2. Okay. Now we have to find out the shaded portion. Can you see a semicircle also? BQC. Can you see the semicircle? Okay. And then you can also see a quadrant BPCA. The quadrant BPCA. This is the quadrant I am talking about. Okay. So children, to find out the area of these kind of figures, what do? Area of the triangle, okay, plus area of the semicircle. I'm marking the semicircle as 2. And from these two figures, if I will delete the area or if I will subtract the area of the quadrant, area of the triangle प्लस एरिया ऑफ द सेमी सर्कल माइनस एरिया ऑफ द क्वाड्रेंट अगर आप कर दोगे तो क्या बच रहा है आपके पास? रेड रीजन हमने हटा दिया, तो आर यू एबल टू गेट द शेडेड रीजन? दैट इज द ग्रीन वन. Yes? So just understand that in this question we have to first deal with area of a triangle, then you have to deal with area of a semicircle, then you have to deal with area of a quadrant. Okay? And you will be able to calculate the final answer. Let us understand how have they done it. So area of a triangle is given by the formula half into base into height. That is half into the base was 14 and the height was also 14. That gives us the area of the triangle as 98 centimeter square. Then the area of the semicircle is pi r square. Okay. And area of the sector is theta upon 316 to pi r square. Once you calculate all these three to find the area of the shaded region, it is area of the triangle plus area of the semicircle, which is 154, minus area of the sector, that again came out as 154. Okay, that gives us the final answer as 98 centimeter square. Okay, fine. Now, coming back to your doubts, children. So one of the questions that I have received here is, so there is a circle, okay, and in this circle there are two small circles. Fine. It's like a smiley. It's like a smiling face. There are two small circles and then there is a rectangle. Okay. And the question says you have to find out, the question says we have to find out the area of the shaded portion. Okay. The area of the remaining portion. Now I'll just show you the remaining portion. This portion they are talking about, the remaining portion. So how are we going to do that? We have been given in the question that the circular card sheet is of 14 centimeters. So area of the entire circle calculate karo. That is pi r square minus area of circle 1. That is the small circle. Okay, calculate the area of this small circle. Iska radius hame given hai as 3.5 centimeters. So you will be able to calculate the area using the formula pi r square. Okay. And then you can further find out the area of this rectangle also. Rectangle ka length or breadth given hai. Length 3 centimeters hai and breadth 1 centimeter hai. So how are we going to find out the area of the yellow shaded region? Area of the big circle minus area of two small circles and minus area of this rectangle. Is that understood? I hope that clarifies your query. Area of the shaded portion will be area of the big circle minus area of the two small circles minus area of the rectangle. Okay. Then there is another query. So this child asks, if the circumference of a sheet is given to you, the circumference of a circular sheet. So we again have a circle, okay, and iska circumference aapko given hai 100 54. Circumference is denoted by the formula 2 pi r. All of us know that. Okay, circumference is calculated by the formula 2 pi r, and it is given to us as 154 centimeters. They are asking, how do we calculate the value of the radius? I'm sure you all know how to calculate the value of the radius. Substitute the value of pi and cross multiply. So radius की value आ जाएगी. ठीक है? And once you get the value of the radius, can you find out the area? Area will again be found out using this formula pi r square. Is that understood? So we were given the circumference of the circle as 154 and हमसे पूछा गया था radius. तो आपने simple formula use किया है circumference का, okay, to find out the radius, and then you have substituted the value of the radius to find out the area. Okay. Now, one more question was there. Another question, again, all these questions I have received deal with circles. So another question, it deals with a circular path. I think I was discussing this. So we have a circular path which is 4 meters wide. मतलब ये distance आपका कितना given है? This distance is given to us as 4 meters, right? And then they are asking us to calculate the diameter of the flower bed is 66 centimeters. Okay, the diameter of the flower bed, matlab this entire length, diameter is 66. They are asking us to find out the area of the path. So how do we find out the area of the path? First of all, children, we know that if the inner diameter is given to us as 66, will you be able to calculate the outer diameter also? 66 में 4 you will add from this side and 4 you will add from the other side. So you will be able to find out the outer diameter. Once you get the outer diameter, I'm denoting it with capital D. Okay, it will be 66 plus 4, that is 70, plus 4, that is 74 centimeters. Okay, inner diameter आपको पता है 66 है. Will you be able to find out the radius with the help of the diameter? Radius is half of the diameter. Okay, that is 30. Outer radius will be 37 and inner radius I will denote it by small r, that is half of 66, that will be 33. Okay, so to find out the area of the path, the formula that is to be used is pi capital R square minus small r square. We had discussed it in the previous slides. The area of the path is pi capital R square minus small r square. Fine, just substitute and you will be able to calculate the area. I hope this clarifies your doubts, and let's move on. Let's just recap very quickly all the formulas. So children, in today's class, we have understood the formula of a triangle. We've understood that the area of a triangle can be found out using two formulas, half into base into height, and also by using Heron's formula, that is square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. Perimeter is found out using a common formula, sum of all sides. ठीक है? Perimeter के लिए आपको बहुत ज़्यादा problem नहीं होगी, because perimeter का simple formula होता है sum of all sides. Okay? Perimeter of then we understood what is the area of an equilateral triangle, root 3 by 4a square. We also understood how did we derive it. Okay? Then area of an isosceles triangle is b upon 4 into square root of 4a square minus b square. Next, we understood the formula for area of a square. Perimeter of a square is 4 into side. Area of a square is side into side. Then, perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into length plus breadth. whereas area of a rectangle is length into breadth. Perimeter of a trapezium is sum of all four sides, and area of a trapezium is half into sum of parallel sides into corresponding height. Parallel sides into height. Next, area of a parallelogram is base into height, and perimeter of a parallelogram is 2 into length plus breadth again. Rhombus में चारों sides equal होते हैं, तो rhombus का perimeter आप कैसे calculate करते हैं? 4 into side, and the area of a rhombus is half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. Lastly, we discussed the area and perimeter of a circle. So we know the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, whereas the area of a circle is pi r square. Sector of a circle, it is a region between two radii and an arc. It is a region between two radii and an arc, like a pizza, a slice of pizza. The formula for perimeter of sector is pi r theta upon 180 plus 2r. ठीक है, ये दोनों radius को add करोगे and length of the arc. This will give you the perimeter. Then area of this sector is theta upon 360 into pi r square. Then, as I showed you, the perimeter of a circular path is given by the formula 2 pi r plus r, and the area of a circular path is given by the formula pi r square, that is area of the outer circle with radius r minus area of the inner circle. Okay, so thank you children. I hope this session of perimeter and area of plane figures was useful. For further doubts, you can get back to NIOS, and I'll be able to help you out then. Thank you so much. Stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, learners. I hope you have enjoyed and most of your doubts has been clarified. Whatever the doubt is left, you can post it on the website or you can send the SMS. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.